Hi, welcome to our Winter Product Update webinar. I'm Camille Deschamps, Product Marketing Manager, and in this webinar, I'll be joined by my two colleagues, Ricardo Asmondvilla, our Senior Director of the Global Strategy, and Stefan Piaskowski, our Senior Product Manager. For this winter update, we've decided to provide you with a tailored experience, and for this reason, we have split the webinar into 3 chapters. Rick will introduce you with the latest mobile channel improvements in Chapter 1, followed by the Mapp Engage updates in Chapter 2. Finally, Stefan will be happy to walk you through the exciting revamp of the Mapp Intelligence export functionality in Chapter 3. So please feel free to go straight to the chapters that most interest you in this update, or to simply listen to the entire webinar if you want to know more about all the updates. Now, before we jump into this winter update, I'd like to quickly take you back to our fall update in 2020. This update introduced 18 new features and improvements, mostly focused on helping you take your customer engagement to the next level. Among the major features announced, we proudly covered the enriched unified customer profile, which gives you an exquisite view of each of your customers, enriched with real-time engagement insights and purchase history. The AMP preview in Mapp Engage was equally an important announcement, as it allows you to create even more dynamic content and experiences for your customers. Also, in this update, we announced new smart recommendations and more specifically notifications based on your marketing campaign performance and your most important KPIs. And finally, among other updates in this slide, we are thrilled to introduce our alternative cookieless tracking solution that ensures your customers' privacy and helps you align with possible GDPR regulations. Now, let me hand it over to Rick, who will be introducing one more important feature we launched in 2020, which was a new milestone for Mapp Cloud.
Thanks, Camille. For those of you that watched our previous releases, you would have learned that Mapp has 7 ways of getting data into Mapp Cloud. However, sometimes it's not practical or simply not possible to have all the required data and customer context available in real time to design communications. And for that, we launched Open Marketing Automation Platform. This was part of our special release that some of you may have seen. Before I explain what it is, in case you haven't seen the video yet, I want to show you a quick 2-minute video of what it's all about.
Marketers spend so much time taming the technology instead of focusing on what they're best at, executing big ideas and strategies. Plus, they have to deal with so much data. Regardless how many data sources you pull together into a single place, there will always be that one siloed platform in your stack that's critical for creating highly personalized and relevant experiences for your customers. Wouldn't it be great if you could automate the communication between all your marketing technology tools to shape your data flow and get that time back for more meaningful tasks? Mapp's new Open Marketing Automation Platform does that for you. It connects the dots between your tools by automating the data flow across your entire stack. If data doesn't come to Mapp, then Mapp will fetch the data for you. A bit like Deliveroo, but for data. Don't worry about tipping us. And here's the best part, you don't need to be a developer to create sophisticated, automated workflows. Our low-code solution makes this possible for every marketer. Set it up once and let the machine do the hard work for you. With our Open Marketing Automation Platform, you can fetch data from external platforms to design highly relevant and context-aware customer experiences in Mapp. Want to create a personalized experience based on the weather at the destination your customers are going to? We can do that for you. What about that new London traveller that changes his location once there to explore local food through your application? You'd better send him a push notification about your latest delivery deals. It's raining today. Again, our platform does the job for you. You know what? You can even make the lights in your home office blink when he orders. That's the power of an open marketing automation that literally connects everything that has an API. You can also use this data from third-party platforms to enrich your unified customer profile. With Mapp's open marketing automation platform, you can focus on executing more in less time with better results. Engagement automated. Marketers liberated.
Exciting stuff indeed. So let me give you a quick summary of what are the key benefits. Well, first of all, you'll be able to achieve a lot more in less time with higher and better results. Effectively, this open marketing automation platform will allow two-way interactions with other business tools and marketing platforms available to you. Also, you will be able to deliver a more engaging contextual personalizations to customers. Effectively, throughout the Mapp automation whiteboard, you'll be able to query third-party systems for additional context to decide how to nurture your customers next. And also, you're centralizing all the marketing efforts without having to log in to various platforms to synchronize those connectivities. Effectively, Mapp is able to make those connections for you. And in our documentation, in our help server, which we'll share you a link later, we have also published additional how-tos with some scenarios of how potentially you might be using this new capability. For example, what you're able to do is, before sending a message to customer, you're able to query the local weather for that individual customer, and then deciding how to personalize the message based on the weather, or maybe picking a different channel. Also, there's an example of how you can retrieve images from Unsplash. Again, a good example of that would be if you have identified customers' interest, or in the scenario that we've given you, is if you've identified what dog breed does the customer have, you're actually able to retrieve an image or the latest image done by quality photographers that personalizes the message content for that particular dog breed. And you can imagine trying to do that manually, how much effort you're saving. Or even things like posting a message to your internal Slack channel. Every single time there is a transaction registered over $500 or over $5,000, whatever it might be, you can actually automatically post a message to Slack to inform the team. And here's an example of what it looks like in the whiteboard. This example effectively could retrieve additional customer data from the loyalty system. So for example, in the whiteboard, when a transaction is registered, so we've identified that the customer has made a transaction, you can query the loyalty system to get the latest updates on the customer loyalty score. And based on the response, you can write different parameters against the customer profile, which you can later use for personalization or for segmentation purposes. And this is just one of many examples you can use with this new capability. So what do you need to do to have access to this capability? Well, this functionality will be automatically available to all Mapp Engage whiteboard users. It will be available for event-based as well as for scheduled events in whiteboard. It does require some technical knowledge. It doesn't require as much technical knowledge if you had to write those scripts from scratch, but it does require some basic understanding of APIs and HTTP request principles. And if you have any further questions, please contact your account managers or customer success managers for more information. Let's deep dive into mobile channel updates. As you already know, mobile is part of core Mapp Engage functionality, and we're continuously improving the ability to leverage the mobile push and in-app capabilities throughout the Mapp Cloud. One of the latest things that we have added is the A/B testing for mobile push within the automation whiteboard. That means you're able to define the audience size, create different variations of the content, whether that's using different emojis or different sounds or different call to action tests. In fact, you can create multiple variants of messages that you're testing within the same whiteboard. And this allows you to create this nurture cross-channel communication and then test the messages that people are most likely to respond to. And then the winning creative or the winning message will be sent to the remainder of the audience, just like you guys are familiar with in your current email marketing campaigns. Let's have a look at a quick demo. So this is, you would follow the same process as you would create the email marketing A/B test campaigns. You would specify the whiteboard audience and when the message needs to trigger. You also would select the group and the app that you want to send the message on behalf of. You then decide how many messages you want to test. In this case, we're only testing 2 different messages, kind of variant A and variant B. And then we will decide after 2 days what will the winning variant be based on the click rate. And that's how simple it is to configure the message. The main prerequisites is that you need to have mobile app activated on your Mapp Engage system. And if this is already done, then you're ready to go. If you have any further questions, please contact your account manager or customer success manager for additional information. We've also enhanced the handling of push and in-app events within the whiteboard, but also for segmentation purposes. We made it a lot simpler for you to leverage those interactions that customers can make with the app. So when it comes to reacting to different messages or different call to action buttons, and now that means that you're able to create more granular segments based on how individual members are interacting. And then you can nurture them down the whiteboard funnel. And this is applicable for both the push notifications as well as for the in-app messages. And this is what it looks like within the Mapp Engage segmentation builder. You will have the mobile activity box on the left-hand side, where you're able to segment people based on their installation date, app events, and things like whether the message has been delivered and how the individuals have reacted if you have configured some predefined actions or custom actions that you would like people to respond to. And as with any other segmentation node, you're able to configure on the right-hand side how many times these people have to engage with those different activities, or what is the date range in which they have reacted. And this is how simple it is to create a segment based on mobile app activities. Again, so if you already have the mobile app activated, this will be immediately available within the segmentation builder. And if you're using mobile app, you don't need to do anything else. You can start taking advantage of this functionality. If you have any further questions, again, feel free to contact your account managers or customer success managers. We also did some additional improvements for the mobile channel. So things like the API support. That means that you're able to create messages, but also send personalized messages and push campaigns via the API, rather than having to configure those messages within the Mapp Engage itself. Also, the mobile push events are now available within the response queue. For those of you who are not familiar with the response queue, it's effectively a near real-time API feed that you can pull at regular intervals to get the campaign feedback data based on how people are interacting with various activities. And up to date, it was available for SMS and email, and now it's also available for mobile push. We have also enhanced the SDK. So with our SDK 6 integration, you can also start taking advantages of Xamarin and Cordova plugins. If these are the development frameworks that you're working on, I'm sure you'll find it very, very beneficial. Now let's deep dive into the additional campaign improvements. Continuing with the theme that we started in previous releases, we're making your job easier to deploy the tactics that you so frequently rely on. Last time we launched the back in stock, price drop triggers, and now introducing some additional tactics that will make your life so much easier. The abandoned cart and wishlist campaigns were already available to be done through Mapp Engage, but we made those tactics a lot easier to deploy by creating some predefined objects within the whiteboard segmentation builder, as well as some predefined data schemas where you can store that data. This means that within the audience builder or the segmentation builder, you will now have additional nodes that are specific to abandoned cart events and user wishlist events. And you'll be able to further filter those events by individual product SKUs. And as you know already, all this data is being ingested in real time based on the Mapp acquire events that some of you may already be familiar with. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you are limited to just those events. With Mapp acquire, you can still capture pretty much any type of web behavior on site to trigger interactions. The difference here is that those two types of events are now predefined and are a lot easier to use. Also, we made those events available within the automation whiteboard. So when you are designing customer engagement journeys, you can actually use those abandoned cart and wishlist events as the starting points for nurturing people down the funnel. Also, you are able to use this data for personalizing transactional messages or just inserting a block of wishlist items in a promotional message or abandoned cart items in a promo message. And likewise, you can use this data for push as well as in-app messages. And this is all done through within Mapp Engage. This is what it looks like within the platform UI itself. So within the segmentation builder, there will be an abandoned cart node that you can use, just like any other node that you're familiar with. And then on the whiteboard event, there will be new type of event that's called a wishlist event. And you can use those to start the customer nurture. Just as simple as that. In order to start using those, you don't have to do anything. Those features are immediately available within the Mapp Engage whiteboard and the segmentation builder. So it's available across all Mapp Engage accounts. And if you have any questions or concerns about how that feature might work in your system specifically, do not hesitate to contact your account manager or customer success manager. Additional improvement to the way you go about campaign creation process is allowing you to leverage selections within selections or import previous selections into the newly created selection. And that's probably one of the most frequently asked for feature, because we recognize that quite frequently you might have certain types of selections that you want to reuse on a regular basis, but sometimes you might want to make some changes to them without affecting the master selection. And that's what you can do now. You can create a new selection by creating new selection conditions and criteria, but then import the existing selection conditions into the new audience. And that will significantly simplify the process of selection creation, but also will speed up time. And here's the step-by-step process. So within the audience builder, all you have to do is add a new container that's blank. And then from here, on a drop-down, you can import the previous selection criteria set. And once it's imported, it's not locked in a way that you can't change it. You can make any further changes to it. That means that you can take advantage of the previous selection almost as a template. And what this means is that you'll be able to save time by actually reusing the objects that you already have rather than having to recreate them every single time. You can still adjust the selection conditions, right? So you're now limited to what the previous selection was. You can just almost use it like a template. And also it means that you can create more advanced scenarios, perhaps even collaborate with the team where more technical members of the team can create very complex selections, and all you have to do is just simply reuse them in your newly created selections. And one of the kind of tips or advice that I can give you is that we always recommend that you have a list of master selections available in your segmentation builder, and then you just reuse them as templates when you are creating new campaigns, and that will significantly save time creating new campaigns selections in the future. Again, just like with the previous features, there are no real prerequisites, so this feature will be immediately available within your Mapp Engage account. And if you have any questions about the way it works, please speak to your account manager or customer success manager. There are also some additional improvements to the way Mapp Engage works. So we have added a new API method for retrieving the actual messages that were sent to recipients. Again, the main use case for that is integrations with CRM systems or any other customer service systems where the user or account representative needs to get hold of the actual message that was sent to a customer. And that's what you will be able to do now. You will be able to retrieve the actual HTML that was sent to individual customer. And also, we made some additional improvements to the content management process. Things like ability to specify message categories within the content composition screen without having to navigate between multiple screens. But also we're now supporting additional characters in the email title itself, because previously that was kind of limiting some of our customers. So now I'm gonna hand you over to Stefan to talk more about some of the improvements that we made within Mapp Intelligence. Take it away, Stefan.
Thanks, Rick. The features for the winter release of Mapp Intelligence are dedicated to the export abilities. Currently, Mapp Intelligence supports export of analysis results via email, and with this release we added the ability to export to an SFTP server as well. Together with this, we also shipped some other improvements which are related. The backbone of the export feature is the usage of the connection profiles. The concept of connection profiles brings a few benefits. Since the admin user can organize the connection profiles at a central place, and other users can just select them as a target in their export configuration. The benefits are, for example, that you are in control of what servers can be used. In case you need to change something in the credentials or the server URL, you can simply adapt the profile, and it will automatically affect all the exports which do use this connection profile. The third reason is you do not need to share credentials among coworkers, and it also minimizes the risk of export misconfiguration, which would lead to failed exports. Once you have created your transfer profile, you can select it in the scheduling configuration for a report or in ad hoc analysis. Let's have a closer look at the dispatch schedule setup for reports. Before this release, the schedule setup was part of the report options. With this release, we extracted it from there and gave it its own module. You can access it from the report overview via the scheduling icon. As you can see, you are now also able to configure multiple schedules per report. For example, you can configure to receive the report via email in your inbox every day, and simultaneously, for the same report, send it once a quarter to your SFTP server to gather the numbers. The dispatch schedule overview of a report provides you also with information about the status of the last execution. The state column shows via colored circles whether the last execution of a schedule was successful or an error occurred. Of course, it is not convenient to check for each and every report if everything worked as expected in terms of exports. That's why we extended our notification feed. The notification feed currently provides you with information from the smart alerts. With this release, we added the messages from the exports to this feed as well. The nice thing about it is that the notification feed works on a company level, so it provides you with information of export errors across all the accounts in your company. So independently from what account you are currently working in, you will receive notifications from any account of your company. Each error will appear in a single message box. Within this message box, you will find more detailed information about what the cause of the error was. In case the error occurred with a scheduled report export, you will find a link to the report so you can switch to the report and fix the error immediately. In terms of prerequisites, there are none. This feature is by default available for all accounts. You just have to make sure that your roles are configured accordingly so the users can access the settings or the notifications as required. So that's it. These were the winter release updates for Mapp Intelligence. I do have one more pre-announcement, which is our enriched device detection. The enriched device detection will be released approximately 6 weeks after the winter release update. It will provide you with more granular data in intelligence, raw data export and data streams in regards to the browser and operating system analysis. By using new dimensions, you will be able to filter on a specific version, for example. In most cases, there will be no change to the value of the existing browser and operating system dimension. In some cases, the value might be enhanced, for example, by the vendor name. In terms of the raw data export, we will provide new columns which then inherit the new information. Please be prepared for the upcoming improvement, and we will provide you with more information in the coming weeks.
Thank you, Stefan and Rick, for introducing these major features and improvements for the winter season. And thank you all for watching this webinar. We really hope you found the relevant information and updates for your business. Please feel free to visit our documentation pages to get more details and how-tos around these features, or contact directly your account manager at Mapp if you have any question. See you very soon. Bye!